5 seconds. It took 5 seconds before the gun controllers ran out to say we need to take all of our gun rights away, even in light of all the evidence that this tragic shooting shows they do not have anything. 5 seconds, people. We're going to break it down right now. Everything will be linked in the description box below. I can't wait to hear what you guys think. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. You alone can stick your finger right in the eye of the YouTube censorship algorithm, fueled by the very people who try to take your gun rights, of which we're about to cover. Make sure you do that to make them scream, because every time you do, a gun controller loses its wings. All right, let's jump over to my X profile. Guys, we have a ton to talk about, of course. We're going to talk about the tragedy that happened in New York last night with the shooting of the police officer and the other individuals. I'm going to walk you through everything that we know, and I'm going to walk you through the immediate calls for gun control for the ultimate purchase of your safety through the giving away of your rights. Yep, even though they don't work, even though it fails miserably, even though this is in one of the gun control meccas, they still found a way to figure out how you can't have your gun rights. Yeah, this is becoming a thing. All right, let's get into this. But before we do, I want to show you something that is extremely beneficial. Ground.news/Langley. Guys, this is one of the most useful tools I use for this program. Look at this. It shows you all the bias. It shows you the sources. It shows you what's going on behind the actual news you're reading. For example, right here on the homepage of the Vantage subscription, coverage details, total news sources 135, shows you how they go left, right, center, the bias distribution, the last update. Guys, this stuff is really helpful. You can see it right here with the distribution, and then you can also see who actually owns it. Guys, I'm telling you, when you start using this as a tool to filter out what people are doing and saying and how the orientation of the message and narrative is developing, incredibly beneficial. And then one thing that I do want to show you about, this is also really useful, the blind spot tool. This thing tells you what other people on the other side of the aisle are talking about that you may not be exposed to, so you can better observe your opponents and win for liberty in the end. That's it. There's a link in the description box below. You can get 40% off of your Vantage subscription if you click out ground.news/Langley. Let's get back to the program. All right, New York. You guys know it's not good for gun rights. Not. In fact, you can see right here, New York number 4. So pretty strong on every town for gun safety's list. If we continue on, it has everything that they asked for. They have a gun strength law of 85. Okay, and they have a gun violence rate of 4.7 per 100,000 residents. These are all the things they constantly tout. Let me walk you through what they have here. Gun law checklist. Background check or purchasing permit. Yeah, okay. Concealed carry permit required. Extreme risk law, that's a red flag law. No shoot first law. Secure storage or child access prevention required. Assault weapons prohibited. Auto sears, Glock switches prohibited, which is dumb because it's federally prohibited. Bump stocks prohibited. Dealer license required. Ghost guns regulated. High capacity magazines prohibited. Legal accountability for gun industry. Micro stamping for new guns. Guys, this is literally the wet dream of gun control. But for some reason, we're not hearing that in things like Gifford's little announcement here, where they say one thing is clear: gun violence is threatening Americans every single day, regardless of where they are in the country. That's their little workaround for the fact that gun control is extreme in New York, and it continues to happen. This should not be normal, yet lines like these will continue to flood our feeds while too many lawmakers look the other way. We need leaders to act now. Again, I'm going to go hard on this. I don't want this instance to occur at all. I want no one to be shot. I want no one to be killed. This is a shit sandwich. We don't want this. No one does. But when you try to take people's rights based off of someone who is intent on killing people, that's where I have a bit of an issue. Because right here, they don't want to tell you that it was in New York with the highest gun laws that I just showed you on every town for gun safety's own website. They don't want to tell you that, so they broaden it out. It's a broad-based problem. It's these problems everywhere. Oh my God, these states. This is occurring in far-left blue gun control bastions. But that doesn't stop these people from doing things like this. Shannon Watts, founder of Moms Demand Action. Civilians should not have access to semi-automatic rifles. Wow, that window moved. Before it was assault weapons, then it was weapons of war, and now it's any semi-automatic rifle. Any of them. So like a Ruger 1022. Can't have it. No suit. Nope. Nope. That's the cause of all problems. They're always going to show you who they are, guys. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. You can see right there, that's her big take on this. We've got Democrat lawmakers. Again, I want to hit on this really hard because CNN, they outdo themselves routinely. But I want to show you what they did here with the Democrat Party here in this little segment from CNN, because they're already setting up that we need to take the gun rights from people. That age-old transaction that governments will offer you. Hey, if you just give me your rights of protection and self-preservation, then I'm going to provide you that safety. And then when I don't, who cares? You don't have your rights anymore. It's a simple equation. They would fail the Better Business Bureau. Anyway, let's get into this. CNN.
Particular weapon, Darren. I mean, obviously, it raises the prospect that he wasn't trying to hide it. He had a concealed carry permit. He could have held a pistol and gotten in that building, perhaps. What does it say to you about what he was trying to do here?
This was clearly a suicide mission, and a mission that was designed to kill people. We had a magazine, which is the clip which people commonly refer to it as, that held upwards of 25 rounds of ammunition of a .223 caliber.
Okay, before we get to the crazy stupid, that magazine is banned and illegal in New York. You cannot have it. No, bad. Can't do it. He did it. The guy is literally walking down the street, rocking an AR in a gun-free zone of Manhattan, in a gun control state, violating the assault weapons ban, violating the mag ban. Just tell me how many more laws need to work. Because the fact is, these people were defenseless while the criminal just keeps on coming in doing whatever he wants. They are disarming the individuals who are the victims of these people who do not follow their laws. This is not hard. When gun control is applied, it is literally making victims by default, and it's enabling criminals to do whatever they want because they aren't going to listen to the laws anyway. The constant here, they're not going to listen to laws. So if you have all gun control in the world, criminals aren't going to listen to laws. If you have no gun control, criminals aren't going to listen to laws. It is a fine solution. Easy. Criminals don't listen to laws. So why would you only put laws on the people who the criminals are going to victimize? This doesn't make any sense. These individuals could have been protected, could have carried themselves, could have been safer, could have had a chance. But instead, this guy's walking in like he's a scene in The Matrix. Anyway, let's keep on going because you're about to hear how powerful the nuclear-tipped AR-15 is.
Bullet. This is a high velocity bullet. So if you shoot someone with a .223, it goes through me. It can shoot and kill the person cutting hair in the next room. This is clearly a killing machine.
By definition, in an office building, you're at close range for a weapon like this.
In AR-15.
Sweet Lord, you're at close range with a pistol. You're at close range with a knife. I mean, like, good God. The .223 is going to go straight through somebody into the next room and then cause a nuclear reaction in Israel? I mean, my God. The level of fear-mongering on this that has no basis in reality whatsoever, because if you know anything about the .223, the .556 round, you know that it is a designed round to tumble. It is an intermediate cartridge. The idea is it to hit and tumble. The idea is not to go on forever because it defies laws of physics. It's God. Okay, let's keep going.
Is what military members use in battle with an M16. It's just a civilian version of what an M16 is. It's a semi-automatic weapon, whereas you have to pull the trigger each time you want to engage a bullet that would shoot someone. It's unfortunate we have these weapons in our society, but at the same token, this was a travesty. And when we speak to why was he there, we have a lot of unanswered questions. Does he have a manifesto? Do we have the credit card receipts as to where he was staying prior to coming here? This is also going to be quite telling in terms of where he was staying, why he was here.
So, Darren, stand by for us.
Who cares where he stayed? Again, this is the thing that they do when they don't have, or when they're uncomfortable on something and they can't pour on full emotional attack on facts that they think they have the high ground on. They'll go into these weird little angles of making up things about AR-15s and how they can actually turn into an F-16. I saw it happen once, and Tom Cruise actually drops in and flies it. And then on the other side of that, they're like, well, I mean, where are the credit card receipts for where he stayed? Who cares? The bottom line is individuals were killed while they were at work. They were in their normal day-to-day lives, just like the people in Walmart, just like the people in Cincinnati that I've been covering. This is all an effect of a sick society on the vulnerable. That's the whole point. It's not about where the person stayed. It's not about what type of nuclear tipped 223s he believes they have. This is about the fact that they cannot protect people after they disarm them because criminals are going to criminal. We're going to keep on going. This is probably a longer video. I don't even care. We're just going to keep on rocking. Of course, there was a bit of a controversy here where CNN's Aaron Burnett kind of got smoked a little bit by them saying on live air it was probably a white guy. Okay, moving on. Let's just skirt on past that one. Doesn't need a lot of explanation. All right, now this one, Representative Dan Goldman. Now, Dan Goldman is, of course, a Democrat. He says he drove from Las Vegas to New York with an AR-15, which cannot be purchased in New York. He walked into an office building and started spraying the lobby with that AR-15, killing the police officer whose handgun was no match for the AR-15. This isn't about New York. This is about Republicans persistently blocking common sense gun safety reform, including an assault weapons ban that a supermajority of Americans support. No, they don't. That's complete total crap. A majority of the population does not believe in an assault weapons ban. They just don't. Sorry, that is factually incorrect. Especially not a supermajority. You can't even get 50%. But this whole thing about it's not about New York. Oh, yeah, because we can't talk about the thing that's obvious where all the gun control in the world exists in New York. So we can't talk about that. It's not about that. No. It's about everything else. Because if we talk about that, it disproves our thesis. So if we just change the subject, we can still put forward our thesis of gun control for everybody, no rights for everybody, and then we're fine, right? Because it's not about New York. I said that. We're fine. I'm going to keep on getting more amped as we get in this because this stuff continues to happen because they are making target-rich environments for these people. Dana Lash says it was already illegal for him to bring his rifle, criminal possession per state statute, so how could he have made it more illegal or? It's very true. And it was also in a gun-free zone in Manhattan. This is another Democrat rep. I'm just going to go through this a few times. Listen to what he says about banning AR-15s.
Absolute insanity that we allow weapons of war to just flow freely on the streets of America. And even though New York State and New York City have the strictest gun laws in the nation, those gun laws can only take you so far if guns can easily cross state boundaries. And this is exactly what happened here. Absolutely.
All right, so you can already see the writing on the wall. Guys, it has never been about common sense safety, as they call it, in their state solutions. This has always been about creating state solutions that have the gun control bans, and when they don't work, they use it to push it nationally. That's the entire point. That's the equation. Congratulations, we figured it out. That's what they've done. That's what they do every time. That's what they're going to do again. It's going to be consistently take AR-15s, the most common rifle in America, because we don't like them and because our gun control doesn't work. So even though we said it was going to be in a state, now we're going to put it national because our gun control laws fail. It's the entire point. And the reason I get so amped about this stuff is because it's affecting the rights of 340 million people because of some people who have a bent for tyrannical control. Gun violence in this country is an epidemic, says the high-waisted fiend, Jerry Nadler. The tragic loss of a brave police officer and innocent civilian is far too common from all these different places. And now in Midtown Manhattan gun control zone, we must put an end to the easy access of weapons of war that continue to take innocent lives. It's just platitudes, guys. That's all it is. Another one, they have no place in the hands of civilians. Yes, they do. It's called refusing tyranny. Hakeem Jeffries. The murder of a brave New York City police officer and several innocent civilians is tragic and horrifying. Mass shootings are a plague. The gun violence epidemic continues to afflict our country and now has shattered the lives in our great city. The time has come for decisive action. What decisive action? You already put forward an assault weapons ban in it was H.R. 1808 from Nancy Pelosi's time 2 years ago in Biden's regime. Didn't pass, didn't even get brought up by Chuck Schumer. And, of course, right here, this is... Same kind of thing. The strictest gun laws in the nation, and this is the guy. This is who did it. I mean, guys, I don't want these things to happen. These things are terrible. They're horrendous. They're awful. I want them to stop. The way you make them stop is you unleash the population to be fully armed and fully supporting their Second Amendment, well-trained, well-versed, and head on a swivel. And I promise you, if you make the entire pool of the citizenry armed piranhas, these stupid wolves that dive into the crowd aren't going to last long. This is the only way. And that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments field below. Send this one out. I'll see you on the next one.